What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about some traditional media and does it have a place in your marketing strategy? So we're going to talk about things like TV, radio, billboards. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time that you needed a product or a service that you hopped in your car and went and looked for a billboard to find somebody to provide that product or service? Or you went and turned on a radio hoping to hear a commercial that actually offered what it is that you were looking for? I'll wait. So, with that being said, traditional media as such is usually going to be used to develop a brand, right? So you have individuals that are consistently driving past this billboard. There's a lot of traffic consistently. X amount of people drive past this every single day, and they see your brand associated with it. That's not a bad thing. That's a good brand move, because when the time comes that they actually need the service that you're providing to your market, maybe they do a Google search and they see 3, 4, 5 different people that offer that service. You've carved out some equity, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, in their brain. So there's that brand recognition when they see you on Google. So they're more likely to click through to you as an option to be that provider as opposed to one of your other competitors. With that being said, I think that there's just as, if not more effective ways to develop that brand equity in today's market. So take social media, for instance. You can take social media, you can run ads, you can target those ads based off demographics, interests, location, all these determining factors to where it's like a moving billboard. So you can consistently place your brand and messaging in front of those individuals as you see fit. And you can also modify that on the fly, right? It's not something that's static to where it's going to be there for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You can change that day to day if you'd like. Not necessarily saying you should do that, but you have the latitude to do so. And that's important. That flexibility that these platforms provide make it a great experience for a lot of companies that are leveraging it for the sake of advertising. The other value proposition that more modern day branding techniques like Facebook are going to bring to your business, you can quantify what you're getting out of it in terms of reach, of an engagement, and things of that nature. Whereas if you're doing radio, if you're doing a billboard, you can ask people where they heard about you, and that's fantastic. And some people will say, a billboard, I saw your billboard. But what if that person saw your billboard 100 times and then they click through to Google when they did their search and it's like, oh, we found you on Google. You're now attributing that to Google, which you should, but you can't really weigh the impact that mechanism like a billboard, radio, or TV had on your consumer's decision to ultimately choose you. So there's not necessarily a way to gauge what the ROI is. With that being said, you should always look to brand your company. And here's the thing, if you have a marketing budget of $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, and you want to throw up a couple billboards, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And there's a place for it in a branding strategy. But if you're looking at a budget of $3,000 a month and you're trying to figure out where the best way is to deploy those funds as far as developing the brand side of your company, I would say that you should hold off on some of these more traditional means of advertising and do some hyper-targeted advertising on Facebook. Make sure that the messaging that you're putting out synergizes with your other assets that you have out in the market. Things like mailers, things like your Google ads, as far as what the message is, the areas that you're targeting with those campaigns. That will help strengthen every aspect of the marketing that you're doing without regards to what channel it's being deployed on. Also, think about what it's going to take from a financial perspective to have a team come out and shoot content from, let's say, your local TV station to run those commercials on their local channels on an annual basis. And here's what they're not going to tell you is, I've heard of multiple instances where they come out, they produce the content, they edit it, they create this very nice commercial, they run that on the allocated spots that you agree upon, and it might cost $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year. If you decide to discontinue that advertising, you do not have rights to that commercial moving forward as far as using it for a marketing purpose, right? It's their asset. So that's also something to keep in mind. I think it would be a much better play. Hire a videographer. Send a videographer and somebody that can do post-production editing to get consistent shoots of, pre-production, post-production, during build assets and videos to where you can consistently create really compelling videos, cinematic quality videos to put out and leverage in things like your Facebook advertising campaigns or to put on your YouTube channel that you should have. And if you don't, go create one now. I think there would be a lot more value associated with making that move and bringing somebody on internally to produce those assets, because then you could leverage those now in the immediate future and for years to come in your advertising campaigns. As always, like, comment, subscribe below. If you got any questions, comments, make sure that you drop them, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.